Hello and a very good evening. You're now with me, Razi Ahmad, for the Nightline. Let's get into the news. Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin called on Asia-Pacific leaders to work together towards a robust, inclusive and sustainable economic recovery and growth for the region. He said the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, whose economies constitute about 60% of the global gross domestic product, GDP, assumes a central role in spearheading the post-pandemic economic recovery.
We need to trade and invest our way out of the current economic downturn. We must come together and work constructively towards navigating the region along a path of robust, inclusive and sustainable economic recovery and growth.
Besides pointing out the importance of being united, Muhyiddin also urged leaders to fend off distractions and focus on finding solutions to address the Covid-19 pandemic.
Today, as we work together as the region to mitigate the impact of Covid-19, the relevance of APEC has become even more pronounced. That said, we have to stand united in combating Covid-19. And it is therefore of utmost importance that people around the world have access to the vaccines and health technologies in an affordable, accessible, and equitable basis.
Muhyiddin, who is the chair of this year's meeting, views APEC as an incubator-cum-enabler that provides the right framework for implementing economic ideas on a voluntary, non-binding and consensus basis. He noticed that member economies have often pursued new and novel concepts within this platform, even when there was reluctance and hesitation to do the same at other multilateral forums. Moving forward, Muhyiddin outlined 3 areas that APEC economies could embrace, the first and most important of which is to reaffirm support and commitment for the rules-based multilateral trading system.
And this is essential for our businesses, as market stability and predictability are the central pillars which ensure that trade and investment continue to flow even during times of crisis.
The others are bolstering the digital economy and inclusive economic growth. Malaysia has long insisted on the need to involve society to participate effectively in economic activities and benefit from the resulting growth through shared prosperity. Muhyiddin believes that shared prosperity will also underscore APEC's focus on raising the living standards of the people. The retail prices of RON 95 and RON 97 will go up by 2 cents per litre respectively, while that of diesel will increase by 7 cents per litre for the period of November 21 to 27. The Ministry of Finance in a statement today said the new prices per litre have been set at RM1.64 for RON 95, RM1.94 for RON 97, and RM1.81 for diesel, based on the automatic pricing mechanism for retail petroleum products. It said the government would continue to monitor the global trend of crude oil prices and take appropriate measures to ensure the continued welfare and well-being of the people. As businesses accelerate their migration to digital technologies, assuring the recovery of businesses during post-pandemic periods are crucial. Driven by the Covid-19 pandemic, the digital transformation wave is still underway in many industries, both in Malaysia and the Asia-Pacific region.
At the spotlight session of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC Dialogue 2020, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC, Chief Executive Officer Serena Shukri said that small-medium enterprises, or SMEs, are focusing on the digitalization of products, services and business processes. She also added, while doing so, businesses need to start adopting the Fourth Industrial Revolution, or IR 4.0 technologies, and embracing the new normal to thrive in the era of IR 4.0. Amidst the pandemic, artificial intelligence should also be highly utilized to improve the quality of decision-making, optimizing organizational efficiencies, and building closer relationships with customers. Surina also urged APEC economies to upgrade their digital infrastructure in ensuring the people benefit fully from it. While COVID-19 is a catalyst for digital transformation journey, APEC's initiatives in adopting digital transformation provides opportunities to grow for mobility and wider economic opportunity.
And especially Malaysia, Sarawak is pretty much ready for this with a lot of initiative and policies that have been introduced to bridge digital gaps and digital transformation initiative across many society at large, especially for SMEs or small medium enterprises. So APEC adopting this digital transformation or digitalization will help countries in APEC region to scale or to help SMEs to grow, especially giving opportunity for mobility or cross-border trade and new economic opportunity for SMEs to explore between countries in the region. So we welcome this proposed initiative, and I believe it will be good for APEC region to adopt.
Meanwhile, in its latest report, the APEC Policy Support Unit encouraged APEC economies to allocate resources needed to build more reliable technological infrastructure and bridging the digital divide. This encouragement is to reskill and upskill, opportunities that will enable more people to participate in the economy in reigniting innovation for higher productivity and greater economic input.
Sarawak today recorded 2 new COVID-19 cases detected in Miri and Kuching respectively, bringing the total number of COVID-19 cases in the state to 1,055. Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee, SDMC, in a statement today said the case in Miri was detected through random swab tests in workplaces involving a male who is a technical executive in an oil and gas company in Miri, while the second case involves a local male who is a civil servant who was in close contact with case 1051 from Besik cluster. Both cases were admitted to isolation wards in their respective districts for further treatment. The Sarawak government is working to establish its own telecommunications company within the next 2 years to expedite internet connectivity in rural areas. Chief Minister Datuk Menteri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the decision to establish the Telco was made due to the reluctance among existing telcos to expand their internet services into Sarawak's rural areas, which they deem unprofitable.
Jalannya keluar ialah kerajaan terpaksa mempunyai telco kita sendiri dan kita beri subsidi kepada telco kita sebagai tarif penggunaan internet itu akan rendah.
Abang Johari said that through the combined efforts of the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, and Sarawak Multimedia Authority, SMA, over 1,200 communication towers will be erected throughout the state by 2023.
Menara memang ada. Kita sudah bangun 300. Dan 300 lagi pada tahun ini, 600. MCMC, dia nak bangunkan 646. Bermakna kita mungkin pada tahun 2023, 1,200 menara. 1,200 mungkin mencukupi, tetapi operator tu. Yang kita kendaki, orang yang menggunakan menara di satu. Nombor dua, dia punya device. Yang kuali, orang kampung kata kuali ni.
Yang di atas tu.
Di atas tu. Kuali tu tidak cukup. Tidak ada orang masangkan kuali.
Abang Johari also revealed that he had approved 150 million ringgit last Wednesday to expand Wi-Fi coverage in the state through the zone system.
Baru semalam saya meluluskan 150 juta.
Untuk
kita melebarkan Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi kita ke seluruh peringkat menggunakan zone system. Jadi kalau ini sudah ada, bermakna internet connectivity ini
pada perancangan
Chief Minister Dato' Patigi Abang Johari Tun Openg recently paid a visit to Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Amar Douglas Uggah Ambas, who has been warded at a private hospital here. Uggah, who is also chairman of Sarawak Disaster Management Committee (SDMC), is currently on a month's leave after undergoing a minor operation to unblock an artery to the heart on Wednesday. His condition is stable and recovering. Prior to Uggah's leave, Deputy Chief Minister Tan Sri Dato' Amar Dr. James Masing will be heading the Sarawak Disaster Management Committee starting today until further notice. According to Masing, he had just held an SDMC meeting earlier this morning, noting that his office would liaise with the media on the daily COVID-19 updates or on any information for the public from today's meeting. Branch of the Civil Defence Force, APM, is prepared to mobilize its assets to deal with the northeast monsoon that is expected to hit the city early next year.
Its officer Madihi Habib said a total of 150 personnel who had undergone thorough preparation were also ready to face the monsoon threat. According to him, APM has identified a total of 88 temporary evacuation centres in Kuching which have been gazetted and suitable for housing flood victims. Madihi said the standard operating procedure SOPs for placing flood victims in temporary evacuation centres had also been updated to curb the spread of COVID-19. He added the Kuching APM would work together with Sarawak Amateur Radio Emergency Services SARES, a non-governmental organisation, in case of communication problems with certain areas when it comes to aid distribution.
A total of 422,609 individuals, or 28.17% of the 1.5 million students who took up the National Higher Education Fund Corp PTPTN loan, continued with their loan repayments in October. In a statement today, the National Higher Education Fund PTPTN said it received 103.03 million ringgit in repayments in October, an increase of 173.65% compared to the collection in April.
Concerned with the difficult situation facing borrowers due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government had agreed to offer a deferment in PTPTN loan repayments from March to September. It was also announced in August that the deferment would be extended for another 3 months from October to December 2020. The deferment in the PTPTN loan repayment benefited 1.5 million borrowers involving repayment totaling 1.13 billion ringgit from March until December.
The Companies Commission of Malaysia, SSM, has extended the free registration period for SPM Bistros until December 31st, 2021. According to Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Dato' Sri Alexander Nanta Linggi, this is to support efforts to recover and stimulate the nation's economy. Previous media reports said free registration for SPM Bistros would end on December 30th of this year. Now, in a statement, Nanta said online business owners are urged to seize the opportunity and register online through SPM Bistros 24/7 online portal. Nanta added the free registration reflects the government's commitment to help improve the health and ethics of the online business ecosystem, ensuring consumers can conduct online transactions safely and securely. The Government Contract Workers Network, JPKK, is urging the government to abolish the contract system of hiring workers at government agencies. This was to allow contract workers to be absorbed as permanent staff in government agencies such as cleaning workers and security guards at schools and hospitals.
JPKK Secretary Sivaranjani Manikam also urged the government to reduce wastage and improve administrative efficiency. She said this during a press conference to launch the Abolish the Contract System campaign on JPKK's Facebook page on Thursday. Meanwhile, National Union of Workers in Hospital Support and Allied Services Industrial Relations Officer Dana Lechimi Langaswaran said the existing contract system was very unfair to workers. She said the benefits for those who have worked for 20 years on a contract basis is similar to that of new permanent staff. She hopes for the government to recognize cleaning staff as frontliners so that they will be eligible to receive assistance like other frontliners.
All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Police officers and personnel found to be directly involved with detained suspects of the Macau scam and online gambling syndicate will be suspended from duties and terminated from the service if found guilty.
Bukit Aman Integrity and Standards Compliance Department, JIPS Director Dato' Zamri Yahya said the police are now in the process of recording statements and gathering evidence on the alleged involvement of 24 members of the force with the syndicate. He added that after completing the investigation, recommendations will be made to the disciplinary board for action to be taken for those involved, such as suspension or termination of services if there is conclusive proof. Zamri said the 24 members of the policemen who allegedly involved with the syndicate had been transferred to other units, including the administrative division. Last Monday, there were reports of senior PDRM officers were among those who were taken action against on suspicion of having links with individuals who were detained in connection with the Macau scam and online gambling syndicate. The case led to a major reshuffle in the police force, involving more than 20 police personnel, including senior officers.
A slew of luxury vehicles, including Rolls-Royce Phantoms, Mustangs, Range Rovers and Audis, were found to be driven by immigration personnel who colluded with an immigration syndicate. Investigations and arrests made relating to the incident entry and exit stamp scam at Malaysia's borders revealed that even personnel in the lowest KP19 grade were provided the use of these vehicles.
According to a source in the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC, all the luxury vehicles were registered under the names of 2 China nationals believed to be Chinese foreign worker agents in Malaysia and 2 local male agents. MACC have confirmed the identities of the China nationals and locals involved and are tracking all of them down. It is believed that one of the local agents was in charge of the vehicles. To date, the MACC has detained 50 individuals in Obsalat relating to the scam, including 28 immigration personnel, 17 foreign worker agents and 5 individuals. The source added that over 800,000 ringgit in cash, 26 vehicles and 4 high-performance motorcycles were seized, besides properties, land, jewelry and other items of value. The source also explained that the syndicate's modus operandi was to arrange the setting of specific immigration counters at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, and KLIA-2 masterminded by foreign agents. The international syndicate would provide the name, passport number and flight schedule of the blacklisted visitors or foreign workers to agents in Malaysia. The Malaysian agents would contact the immigration personnel at KLIA and KLIA-2 to arrange the setting at the counters to allow the foreign worker or visitor slip into Malaysia using fraudulent stamps. Meanwhile, MACC Investigation Director Datuk Norazlan Muhammad Razali did not deny the possibility that more individuals associated with the syndicate would be arrested soon. He said the case would be investigated under Section 16 of the MACC Act 2009 and the Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing and Proceeds of Unlawful Activities Act 2001.
The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, MMEA Sarawak, has evicted 2 fishing boats detected encroaching the country's waters. The boats were operated by 4 Indonesians with fishing nets and mixed fish catch weighing 200 kilograms on board.
MMEA Sarawak Region Director First Admiral Maritime Zin Azman Mat Yunus in a statement said 2 red and blue fishing boats were detected in suspicious circumstances at 75.1 nautical miles northwest of Tanjung Sirit on November 18th. The boats were detained by Malaysian maritime assets while conducting an op-benteng or op-khas kuda along the Malaysia-Indonesia border. According to Zin, the boat skippers were found to not have valid identity documents, while no prohibited items were found on the boat. They were then directed and driven out of the country's waters 28 nautical miles away to the Malaysia-Indonesia border in line with the effort to curb the spread of COVID-19.
Meanwhile, on Thursday, the MMEA has detained 2 Indonesians operating a tugboat for investigation into immigration offences and failure to produce the boat's license. The tugboat was detained about 1.8 nautical miles from the Sungai Miri estuary by a maritime vessel that was patrolling the area under Ops Permai and Ops Benteng. According to Miri Zone Maritime Director Captain Muhammad Fauzi Osman, the boat's skipper was also found to hold an expired international passport, while the other Indonesian is suspected to have violated the pass conditions issued by the Malaysian Immigration Department. He added that both men, aged 31 and 50, as well as the boat, had been taken to the Malaysian Maritime Jetty in Miri for further investigations under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1952 and Immigration Act 1959/63. The suspect also underwent Covid-19 screening, which was handled by Ministry of Health workers as a precautionary measure upon arrival at the jetty. The alleged mastermind behind the influx of illegal immigrants into the state, known as Pak Itam, has been arrested by the Immigration Department on Thursday. In a statement, Sarawak Immigration Director Datuk Ken Leben said the director was detained along with 2 Indonesians in a van, which was stopped by the department's quick response team in Bintulu. He added that based on initial information, it was found that one of the suspects was Pak Itam, the mastermind for the alleged crime. The case was linked to the arrest of illegal immigrants in Jalan Lundu in southern Sarawak on November 18. Following the arrest of the mastermind, he said the immigration QRT then raided a house in Jalan Sibiu, Bintulu, and nabbed 12 Indonesians believed to have entered the state illegally. He said the detainees, believed to have been brought into Sarawak by the main suspect, had just arrived at the premises a few hours prior to the raid. The case is being investigated under Immigration Act 1959/63. Well, that's it for the Nightline. Thank you for joining us. I'm Razi Ahmad for TVS. Stay safe and have a good night.